In this video, the fifth video, we're going to talk about how many women with vaginismus want to do everything perfect and what we need to surrender. That is the topic from this video. Can you start talking about this, Catherine?
Absolutely. I love this topic because so many of us can relate here to being perfectionists, perfectionism being a theme in life. And where I like to start here is really in childhood, where many of us have found a sense of safety in having control over our lives and really having control over things that we felt we had a grasp on. That may have meant schooling, that may have meant our work environment or our friends and family, and being the good girl and being a great daughter and achieving really high grades. All of these things that we felt like we were great at and we had control of, and the pieces that we later on discovered were ones we didn't have control of, we kind of swept under the rug, right? Our intimacy, our sex life, for example. And in our young years, control is what had kept us safe. And so this was our survival strategy. Our survival strategy was to plan things out, to have structure, to know what's coming, right? We didn't feel very safe in the unknown. So as a survival strategy, we brought it throughout our life. And when we entered that time period in which we tried having penetrative sex, we tried the same survival strategy that had always worked, staying in control. And we realized that it didn't work in this scenario. Where penetrative sex is the most, in my opinion, the most vulnerable thing we can do in our entire lives. Because, especially as vulva owners, we are the ones that accept another human being inside of our body. We need to allow that. We need to open to that. We need to surrender to that. And so, of course, the survival strategy of being in control does not work here. And we need to relearn how we have lived our lives, not only in an intimacy context, but perhaps also in other facets of our life experience where we can feel safe to surrender to the unknown. And that's what the healing journey of vaginismus is all about. Surrendering to the unknown and finding safety in the unknown. And naturally, as we learn to do this, some of the perfectionism also falls away, where absolutely I still have parts of me, days in which I feel like, oh, this needs to be perfect. This needs to be perfect. And there's this little bit that's there. But still, I can surrender to the unknown in many other ways too. And life becomes more spontaneous, more fun. Penetrative sex becomes possible. And so this control versus surrender thing is a massive part of the vaginismus experience.
Yeah, what I found out is you fall a little bit away. What did you say, the last words?
Yeah, I was just asking, what have you found out?
Yeah, what I found out is that after a while, when I overcome my vaginismus, I always wanted to held the penis and put it in front of my vagina opening, and then let it a little bit inside of me. And after that, I could let go. And at the same time, I held my hand to the body of my partner, and especially when we did it in, I don't know if the same word, missionaris houding, pose. And so I did like this. So he could not, the tense of, or his body could not go lower than I wanted. So I did that. For the beginning, that was really good, because for the man, it's not easy to put the same level of high of his body, because he is also weighted. So in the beginning, it was really good way to put him a little bit up when I needed some more room, and to let him down when he could, when I want to let him inside me. So it was really good. After some years, I was somewhere where with a sort of, I also want to learn everything. So I was with somebody who did some other treatments with body and relaxation for that part. So I was there and I let her do the treatment on me so I could experience it. And then she said, "How high do you want the back of the chair?" I said, "Yes, really high." And so I was sitting there, and she was looking at my vagina and was looking how I can do relaxation there. And she said, "Why do you want to sit so high?" And I said, "Yes, I can see them, and I can feel, see and feel." I said, and she said, "Why do you want to look?" And I thought, why do I want to look? Or why do we want this? And then I found out it was really difficult for me that slowly, slowly the back of the chair could go slowly lower. And I was feeling like, oh, what is going to happen now? I cannot see what is going to happen. And it was really comfortable. She was really sweet. She would not do anything to me. Um, and then I found out, oh, maybe I have to let it go when I'm with Marco, because I found out she said to me, lay down, your head also lay down and feel, not think, not see, but feel how it feels what I am doing. It was a sort of massage inside the vagina. It was really soft, soft, was beautiful. And then I came home and I told Marco, and he says, yes, I did not want to bring it up because I thought this is the way you could do it. And after we did it every time, the first time after the penis was inside, I could do all the other things also. So for me, it was not such a problem. But it took some time to let him do his own job. And I found it was not so easy. So even after I overcome my vaginismus, I still surrender every time a little bit more. Because another time, some woman said to me, yes, you can say, I want to allow his finger or his penis inside. And I thought, I'm going to try that also. And then I did it, and I thought, my vagina was open, but my vagina now is really open because I give the message to my brain and the brain to everything but, near the vagina and the vagina the pelvic floor muscles, that it goes open up. So even after that, I felt how much I needed to have the control, even in this lovely, nice relationship. So it's so strong in your whole body and mind.
Totally.
Yeah.
It is. This level of surrender keeps deepening.
Yeah.
After the first time that I was able to have pain-free penetrative sex, that experience, I remember I was so on edge still, right? Because it's a leap of faith. It's like, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? And I don't remember it being super pleasurable. It was quite neutral. It was pain-free and neutral, which was a huge win.
Yeah.
And after that was when my journey started with finding my authentic sexual self, who I really was in my eroticism. Now I bring this part of the journey inside of the entire piece of healing vaginismus, right? But at the time, I was just beginning, and I learned so much about who I am authentically as a sexual being, what my desires are, what my wants are, and all of those things helped to achieve those deeper levels of surrender. And with, some of the tantric practices and other sorts of modalities around sexuality that help us deepen our eroticism, you kind of go further and further in understanding yourself and being able to surrender at a deeper level where it becomes part of the turn on. Not being able to see becomes part of the turn on because you're so acutely present to the physical sensations without the distraction of sight. So if you imagine, right, and some movies depict this, but we don't quite get the real picture around this. Imagine being like with a blindfold on and not being able to see how much more acutely aware you are of the physical sensations in your body. And this can create anticipation, which can sometimes be perceived as scary, can sometimes be perceived as an incredible turn on, where you have no idea what's about to happen. And then you feel a light touch, which feels like a zinging sensation because you didn't know how was this touch going to happen? When was it going to happen? And this only deepens our experience of pleasure. And that's where the excitement continues, right? It doesn't begin there, but it just continues in us exploring ourselves and exploring our partners.
I
It's
think that's really
beautiful. It's a
important.
beautiful
Yeah,
journey.
it's really important what you say. When I had the first time that it was that I have allow a penis inside me, I could not imagine that it was true. So I looked and I saw the penis was inside me, and I felt nothing. So
Mhm.
I didn't felt the penis inside me, but I also didn't felt any pain or uncomfort. I felt nothing. So the second time, it was sort of the same, and uh, and then I felt so lousy because I thought for so many years, for I was about 35 when the first time when I was could have intercourse. No, the first time that the penis was painless inside me. And I started to have my sex life around when I was 15 years old. So for around 20 years, I was looking for the solution. And I thought, 20 years of looking for the solution for this? What is everybody talking about? So I felt sort of, I have no idea the word in English, but I felt not so nice. And then after a little while, I thought many women like it. I knew some women, some friends who really liked it and who I knew they would not lie. So they know something that I didn't know. So also the same as with you, after I overcome it, I went the way of exploring what you can feel in your vagina and not, uh, how I can get more aroused, how I would love it more to have the penis inside me and when and how. And that is what I tell also the women who come to me, that it's important to understand that everything in life we have to learn, everything. But our sex life has to be perfect at start, day one. So nothing we can do directly, nothing but this. And it's also with two persons, because the sexuality is when you do have intercourse, it's with somebody else. So something that is so difficult because you have with two persons, we think it is nice and lovely and incredibly good at the first time. So I tell them that because I think it's important that they know that after you can have painless penetration, you still have to feel what you like and what you don't like. And you have to explore a little bit about it. So most of the times after they overcome it, in the month after that, I have also some conversations with them because then they can ask me all kinds of questions um, that about, for example, different positions. Not every woman feels the same position nice. And in my case, if I had a position and it was not nice, I always thought, oh, I'm not already, I'm not over my whole vaginismus. I still have a little part of it.
Mhm.
And when I talk to other women during the years, I hear that they have that also the same. And then they say, yes, but in that part of the cyclus, I don't like that position. And I ask them, what do you do then? And they say, oh, something else. They were so like open-minded and also not any problem with that. And I said, why didn't I thought of it myself? And later on, I found out it is not important what you like or what all other women like. It's important what I like and what I enjoy and what kind of touch I like and I enjoy, and the partner who I'm with. So that is the only one who I have to relate on, what he likes, what he likes to do with me, what I like to do with him. So I found out that it doesn't matter, but because I also went that road, um, it's important that women with vaginismus who overcome it knows that, so they don't get any teleurstelling. That they got, how do you say it in English?
Disappointment, perhaps.
Thank you. Yeah, they don't get disappointed about it, because and especially the same as me. Oh, I did not overcome it yet, but I was overcoming it. I didn't like that position. That was all. That was all. Yeah. So how do you feel about that?
I think the best thing we could say as well is just to attest to the fact that it starts to feel incredible and it's so possible to get there in a way in which you honored yourself for your feelings all throughout the journey. Because absolutely, that first time when I had it, I was celebrating myself and I was so amazed and happy. Yet at the same time, I thought, well, if this is it, if this is going to be the way that it is for my entire life, then wow, it took a long road to get to this.
Yeah, yeah.
I still knew there was a part of me, even in that moment when I knew that there's more to it, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. The pleasure is going to come. I know it's going to be good. I asked around, of course, some questions, started to explore more, ask my partner, communicate on what we want to try. And very quickly, I would say, from there, the pleasure came and we found our way. Just like you said, the uniqueness of that experience of sex is what we're looking for. We don't want to fit into the mold of what it looks like for somebody else, because all that matters is our experience and the experience of our partner. Yeah, beautifully said.
I think this is a nice end of this fifth video. So for the listeners, if I speak for myself, I enjoyed talking to you, Catherine. It was so lovely to talk with you about all these fifth topics. So if everybody wants to know, if somebody wants to know more about Catherine or me, beyond the video, we will put the link of our websites that you can contact us, and feel free to ask a question. Feel free to watch the videos we already made before this video, to look at our website and see all the content that is. Please don't feel alone, because you are not alone. And really, for me, I didn't thought it was possible to overcome my vaginismus and to have enjoyable intercourse, and I overcome it, and I can have intercourse with pleasure as a part of my whole sexuality. So thank you very much, Catherine, for this conversation. It was so lovely. And I really hope all the women and all the people who watch this, they learn something, they feel something, and they feel what our mission is, to help them and to touch something in there that can help them.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for this conversation. I feel like we went deep into various topics that are so important to consider in this journey. And I really couldn't have said it better myself. You said that it felt impossible. It felt impossible. And speaking for myself, I felt like I had completely given up on multiple occasions. And so if whoever's listening right now, if you're feeling that way, right, if these people are feeling this way in this moment that they have given up, to know that this doesn't have to be the end and that you can come out of this feeling and for the spark of hope to come again and for you to be able to make it all the way through and creating an incredibly fulfilling, pleasurable, amazing, mind-blowing kind of sex life. Yeah, so that's all I want to say. There's hope and it's possible for you. And that's our passion.
That's our passion. There's hope and it's possible to overcome it. Thank you very much, Catherine.
Thank you.